Flavoring and flavor enhancers. Flavorings are additives that give the food a particular taste and flavor and can be derived by natural or artificial ingredients. Flavoring agents may be extracts or concentrates. Natural flavoring are metabolites found in tissue or in cells, and their formation is very complex because they are conducted by genetic factors and influenced by environmental factors. A flavoring agent is a substance that gives or modifies the characteristics of a certain food product, causing it to become more sweet or more sour as determined by sensorial mechanism. On the other hand, flavor enhancers strengthen the natural fragrance of its own food, and they can be extracted from natural sources or prepared artificially. These flavor enhancers are commonly added to food products for the purpose to impart more taste and nutritive value, especially to food items that are either tasteless or have an unsatisfactory taste. Flavoring agents or flavor enhancers have been used extensively over the years. But there's a question. Which are the functional groups that are responsible for the flavor? Well, there are a number of functional groups that provide characteristics such as the aroma or flavor or taste in various food items. These include benzoaldehyde that gave the flavor of almond. Another one is 2-methoxy-3-isoputylpyrazine that tastes like green pepper, that is responsible for the taste of green pepper. 4-hydroxy-3-methoxybenzoaldehyde is responsible for the flavor of vanilla. Other flavoring agents that are known are isoamyl acetate, cinnamic aldehyde, benzaldehyde, and others. The precursors of flavor compounds are formed through chemical processes, but these chemical processes involved even the enzymatic processes like browning reactions and non-enzymatic processes. There's a number of reactions that involve the browning aspects of food product. For example, is Maillard browning or caramelization browning, which converts sugars at high temperature to brown pigments and gives a special characteristic flavors to the food. And enzymatic browning reactions, which convert phenolic compounds in the presence of polyphenol oxidase to brown pigments and gives new flavor of the product. Each individual flavoring additive must have a highly expressed fragrance of the raw materials from which it originates and shall meet the following conditions in respect of the content of heavy metal. So, flavoring agents must not have in respect of the content of heavy metal, must not contain arsenic more than 2 mg per kilogram, and they must not contain lead greater than 10 mg per kilogram, and must not contain heavy metals more than 40 mg per kilogram. Flavors are applied to various food products in beverages, tobaccos, pharmaceuticals, and oral hygiene areas. Flavored products are divided in two categories: flavor dependent. These are foods and beverages that cannot exist without the application of the flavors, and flavor independent. These are products that can be marketed without flavors or for which flavor are legally prohibited. Flavoring agents, according to the source of their formation, are classified in three groups. Natural flavoring substances, and these substances are obtained from plant or animal raw materials by physical, microbiological, or enzymatic processes. These natural flavorings can be either used in their natural form or processed form for the consumption by a human being. Flavoring substance identical to natural. These substances are obtained by synthesis or are isolated through chemical processes which are chemically identical with natural flavoring substances that are present in food products intended for consumption by a human being. Here we can mention ethyl acetate. And the last group is synthetic flavoring substances. These substances are not identified in natural product intended for consumption by human being. These food flavoring are typically produced by chemical manipulation in production units. Antimicrobial agents or antimicrobial additives. Well, the use of antimicrobial additives is a new technology that promotes increased shelf life and offers high quality and safety product. These antimicrobials may be natural or synthetic, but natural antimicrobials additives are gaining more importance than synthetic ones. Even the researchers are giving more importance to the potential of natural products for their antimicrobial activities. Well, natural antimicrobial additives are called those chemical compounds that have pharmacological and biological activity and which are produced by living organisms. Well, nowadays, herbal extracts and essential oils have gained more importance due to their aromatization as well as their antimicrobial potential. Antimicrobial ingredients in plants materials are commonly found in herbs and spices like in rosemary, basil, oregano, cardamom, and cloves, and they are found also in fruits and vegetables like in nuts, pepper, cabbage, garlic and onions, citron fruits. These antimicrobial ingredients can be found also in seeds and in leaves like in seeds of grape, in fennel, parsley, and in olive leaves. Natural antimicrobials that can be added to food are mainly terpenes like carvacrol, thymol, and menthol, peptides, polysaccharides, and phenolic compounds. Microbial food safety is different from chemical food safety because chemical residues and additives can enter to the food chain at more or less predictable steps, while microbes can enter at any steps. Antimicrobials that are used in food processing may be defined as chemical compounds that are added to the foods or food packaging and inhibit the growth or inactivate the pathogenic microorganisms or spoilage microorganisms. Antimicrobials are sometimes known as preservatives, and they are added to the foods, either unprocessed and processed foods, in order to extend their shelf life by reducing the microbial growth. Protection of the food from microbial and chemical deterioration has traditionally been an important concern in the food industry. Chemically synthesized preservatives have been classically used to decrease both microbial spoiling and oxidative deterioration of the food. However, in recent years, consumers are demanding partial or complete substitution of chemically synthesized preservatives because they want natural product. And this fact has led to an increasing interest in developing more natural additives in order to enhance food shelf life and especially the safety of these foods. Natural antimicrobials are derived from three sources. Antimicrobial of microbial origin. Here, microbes. We know that microbes produce a wide range of compounds with antimicrobial activities. For example, bacteriogens that are generally recognized as natural compounds able to influence the safety and the quality of the foods. Their application as a preservative for vegetables started approximately 25 years ago. Many studies carried out in recent years clearly indicate that the application of bacteriogens in food preservation can offer several benefits, like an extended shelf life of foods. They can provide extra protection if it is abused with the temperature conditions. They can provide decrease the risk of transmission of foodborne pathogen through the food chain. They can also reduce the application of chemical preservatives. They permit the application of less severe heat treatments without compromising food safety, and especially they may serve to satisfy industrial and consumers' demands. Another antimicrobial additives that is produced from microorganisms is bacteriophage. These are host-specific, they are harmless to humans, animals, and plants. Phages, which can inactivate pathogenic bacteria, can be useful in food processing. They are used less than bacteriogens. Antimicrobial from animal origin. Over the past 20 years, more than 700 antimicrobial peptides have been discovered. Recently, some antimicrobial peptides of marine origin rather than terrestrial origin have been identified. Some of antimicrobials of animal origins used as food additives are lactoferrin, lysosine, and chitosan. And natural antimicrobials that are derived from plants, here their use in foods helps to address consumer demand for minimally processed natural products while providing some extra benefits to the food and to the consumers. Well, using natural additives to preserve foods has become popular due to the consumer's demand for natural and especially for safety products. Sweeteners or additives or sweeteners agents. These are added to the foods for flavoring, for improving the taste of the foods. Sweeteners other than sugar are added to keep the food energy or the food calorie in low levels, or because they have beneficial effects on people who are ill by diabetes, or just for tooth decay. Some of the substances that can sweeten the beverages or the foods or even the medications are sugar, saccharin, or even other low-calorie synthetic products. In general, sweeteners are known as sweetening agents, and they are called artificial sweeteners because they are usually not a component of the product, but they are added to the product. As per source, these substances can be classified as natural or artificial sweeteners. Natural sweeteners are obtained from natural sources, for example like sugarcane or sugar beet, or even from fruits. And artificial sweeteners have a chemical origin. Well, artificial sweeteners are further of two types, and are namely non-caloric sweeteners and sugar alcohol. Non-caloric sweeteners do not add calories to the food. For example, they are used in snack foods or even in drinks. Here we can mention saccharin and aspartame. And sugar alcohols are used in chewing gums, in hard candies, and have almost the same calories as the sugar. Examples of sugar alcohol are sorbitol and mannitol. The most commonly sweeteners used are 8-sulfame-K. It is 0-calorie sweeteners. It is 130 till 200 times sweeter than sucrose. It is not metabolized by the body. The only limitation of these additives is that if it's used in a large quantity, it might have an aftertaste. It is used in fruit preservation, in dairy products, and in all types of beverages. It is used mostly to reduce the calories of the food products. Aspartame is another sweetener. Even aspartame is a low-calorie sweetener. Is about 200% more sweetly than sugar. The sugar, its taste is similar to the sugar, but it's only more sweet. Aspartame is used in all types of foods and beverages and medicines. It is found naturally in foods that are known for high content of proteins. Cyclamate is another sweetener. This is a calorie-free sweetener. It is 30 till 50 times sweeter than sugar. It is generally used in combination with other sweeteners. It has a pleasant taste and is stable at high temperature, and especially it is economical. And the last sweetener that I will mention is saccharin. It is one of the low-calorie sweeteners. It is 300 till 500 times more sweet than sugar. It doesn't metabolize and absorption is too slow. Saccharin is the most widely used sweeteners. It was earlier banned in certain countries, but today is used quite commonly in all the countries. Sweeteners have been used for centuries to make food products more delicious and with a good presentation to the consumers. They can provide good quality and texture in baked foods, and also it acts as a preservative agent in confectionery. Natural sweeteners that are distinguished are sucrose and corn syrup. Corn syrup is industrially obtained by acid or enzymatic hydrolysis of starch using corn as raw material. In the processing of fruits, mainly in the production of marmalades, it is possible to use corn syrup. Well, the absorption power is 15% compared to the sucrose. In general, the addition of corn syrup has several advantages compared to sucrose, because it improves the brightness and the structure of marmalades, it prevents sugaring, and it reduces the sweet taste of in the finished product, which is obtained if it is used only sucrose. Antioxidant agents are mainly used in food to prevent the oxidation of fats, thereby stopping their peroxidation in the initiation of or propagation phases. In a group of antioxidants, we can mention some additives like tocopherols, ascorbic acids, xanthan, pectin, etc. The main foods where antioxidants are used are meat, oil, fried foods, dairy products, and baked foods, etc. Polyphenols are some of the most interesting group of natural compounds because of their strong antioxidant ability. They exhibit interesting effects on human health against some diseases like cancer, like osteoporosis, cataracts, cardiovascular dysfunction, brain disease, etc. Because of their high efficiency in food preservation and their widespread acceptance by the consumers, it is desirable to add them in food products or the use of these antioxidants additives in food industry. Anti-browning agents, which prevent both enzymatic and non-enzymatic browning of food products. Well, in this case, the addition of some substances like vitamin C, citric acid, or sodium sulfate will interfere to avoid dark color formation, and these elements or these components are some of the anti-browning agents. Also, the addition of sulfur dioxide, which is used in fruit juices and dried fruits, will avoid the formation of this dark color. But as we say at first, that the addition of anti-browning agents is for preventing the formation of the browning color. But how does this happen? For example, in the enzymatic browning. Well, this process or this reaction at raw fruits and vegetables are an oxidation reaction of the enzyme polyphenol oxidase, which lead to the formation of dark-colored polymerized pigments by the oxidation of oxinones, which can significantly affect their functional and their nutritional and organoleptic properties of the product. They are some chemical compounds that make possible the inhibition of polyphenol oxidase activity. These compounds are carboxylic salts and other organic acids, as well as chelating agents that act on enzymes. In addition, other agents which are mainly reducing agents, including ascorbic acids and its derivatives, sulfates, which act on a reaction product by reducing oxinones to aldephenols, their precursors, and forms colorless compounds. Natural additives. Well, consumer studies had shown that consumers recently tend to choose natural additives rather than synthetic ones. And the most researched natural additives are antioxidants, antimicrobials, and colorings, additives, and sweeteners. Well, as we mentioned before, let's make a summary of what are food additives and what consumers expect from these additives. Well, food additives have been used since earlier time. They are used to improve nutritional value of the food and to improve their taste, their texture, their consistency, or the color of the food. Food additives may preserve the freshness of the food between the time it is manufactured and when it finally reaches the consumers. All the food additives that are approved are carefully controlled by the federal authorities to ensure that these foods are safe for consuming. Well, as you can see in the screen now, there's a list of literatures that you might use if you want to get more information about additives and preservations. Well, this was the lesson for today. Hope it was interesting for you. See you on the next lessons, and thank you for your attention.